Welcome back, Cubs. Dire Wolf here, and today Foxy and I need to talk to you about this crap.
Hey everybody, it's Foxy here.
And we want to make a quick, off-the-cuff response to David Fagan from the Huffington Post.
Now, this is an article from David Fagan, a contributor to the oh-so-wonderful Huffington Post, who is now officially on my list.
On the 17th of August, he published an article titled, Becoming a Racist, the Unfortunate Side Effect of Serving Our Country.
So basically, this article is saying that if you've ever served in the United States military, you've become a f***ing racist.
Which is one of the most idiotic and ignorant things I've ever seen in print. Nowhere else will you find, other than possibly the French Foreign Legion, will you find a more diverse group of people who are forced to work together closely for their very survival than you will find in the United States military. And you will find no closer group than my brothers and sisters in arms who come from every ethnic and political background.
The service members are not racist, and we have been one of the most integrated fighting forces for a very long time. And we've also been the one people that have been the forefront of desegregation and working side by side as the military. I don't care what color the person is next to me. I don't care if they're black, white, or purple. They are my brothers. They are my sisters in arms.
And Cubs, as I show you this article, you're going to see he has no understanding of military culture, nor has he any logical basis to label the people who have sacrificed the most for this country as being racist bigots.
We are a family, and we fight as such, and we come home as a family. We hold no racial grudges against anybody.
As you can see from the picture on the title, he bases his opinion that veterans are inherently racist on the fact that there was militia groups at the Charlottesville riots.
Excuse me, but these are the very few good people that were at Charlottesville.
David Fagan, who was clearly not at the protest, assumed that these pictures of militia members with guns meant that they were part of the protest or supporting the white nationalists when they were not.
Most of them are retired veterans, and they weren't there to support the white supremacists. No, they were there as peacekeepers and to offer the police support. They were not there being paid by the white supremacist group. They came on their own accord as constitutionalists.
Here's what Fagan wrote. In an interview with CNN's Anderson Cooper, Vice News' Ellie Reeve mentioned that security for the neo-Nazis was not provided by Charlottesville police, as one might expect, but by veterans of Iraq and Afghanistan war. That's lie number one. But before I get to that, let's go to The Guardian and read about these veterans that he's talking about. The men in charge of the 32 militia members who came to Charlottesville from 6 states to form a unit with a mission of defending free speech were Christian Yingling, the commanding officer of the Pennsylvania Lightfoot Militia, and his second in command on the day, George Curbelo, the commanding officer of the New York Lightfoot Militia. These are the veterans who came from all around the country to come protect people on the left and the right at the protest, and whom had contacted the Charlottesville police and coordinated with them in advance. They were not taking the law into their own hands. They were working with the police, and the police even escorted them to the protest. So lie number one was that the police were not providing security for the white nationalists, and also it's a lie that the militia were providing security for the white nationalists exclusively because they were providing security for everybody there, including Antifa and the counter-protesters. Their mission was to keep the peace and uphold everybody's right to the freedom of speech. Fagan also wrote that, I hear these veterans claim that they were radicalized in Iraq and Afghanistan during their tours of duty. It is one of the more unfortunate things to come to light regarding the side effects of serving your country. Which, beside the fact that it's useless anecdotal evidence, the bigger problem of what he's claiming is not a single one of the militia members at that protest were there in support of the white nationalists. But even if there was some veterans that were not with the militia that are supporting of white nationalism, it would not mean that all people in the military or all veterans are racist. There is literally no data or information inside your own article to support that claim. The leader of the militia, Yingling, said the original request for the militia force to attend the event had come from the organizers of the white nationalist rally, who wanted them to act as security. However, the militiamen had said, no, we will not come and defend just you. He also said that it's important for us to say that we are there in a neutral stance. He said he abhorred violence and racism, and vehemently disagreed with the white supremacy. But he argued that it is vital to defend the right to peaceful free speech.
Even The Guardian interviewed these militia, and especially the leader, and he condemned the white supremacist groups. He condemned the neo-Nazis and the KKK groups that were there. He condemned all of them. He condemned all violence.
Fagan goes on to say he thinks that soldiers come back from war hating everyone that is different from them. Does that mean he thinks that black soldiers come back hating everyone who's not black, and Mexican soldiers come back hating everyone who's not Mexican? Of course not. They'd make very strange Nazis. What he fails to realize is a soldier coming back from war did not learn to hate his brothers in arms that were black, Asian, or Mexican, or any other race. What he did learn to hate was his enemy. It is very possible they learned to hate the people that were shooting at them every single day, but they didn't just learn to hate everyone that was different from them. Carbello said, "The New York Lightfoot militia numbers around 250 people. Although it is majority white Christian, it also includes some people of color, atheists, Jews, and a handful of Muslims." If these veterans are neo-Nazis, they're doing a pretty bad job by letting people of color, Jews, and Muslims into their ranks, aren't they? Or maybe they're not the bigots that you claim they are, and maybe the military is not the Nazi factory you claim it is. And by the way, Carbello is Hispanic. He must be a Nazi. Because we know how the neo-Nazis love their Hispanics. But to think that even a small portion of them are returning from duty harboring feelings of such intense anger and disgust towards anyone who isn't white. What is this, a hypothetical? Prove it. Tell me how many people are coming back from war and becoming neo-Nazis. Because so far, all you've done is show us pictures of veterans who hate white nationalism that were there to protect everyone. And if a small portion of veterans are white nationalists, it doesn't prove your point that the military produces white nationalists. He goes on to suggest that doing security for events like this one is a sign of PTSD, and that those veterans obviously need help. Fagan, I think you're the one that needs help, so let me help you out. You are a clueless, ignorant asshole. You lack the ability to do basic research into the topic that you're reporting on. You're attacking heroes that are far better men than you will ever be. You wouldn't have anything you have now. Your freedoms, your rights, and your life would not exist if not for men like this. You have no right to tarnish the good names of these soldiers and the branch of the military that they came from by calling them Nazis.
So just because you see a right-of-the-center militiaman wearing body armor and carrying a weapon doesn't mean that they're, oh my god, they're white supremacists. They're not. How dare you say that they are? And
at the end of the article, Fagan says, the same lie that Trump did not condemn the hate groups, when in fact, he did condemn hate groups on both sides, and he also pointed out that there was good people on both sides. And when he was referring to those good people, he was referring to these militiamen, among other groups who were not the neo-Nazis or white supremacists or Antifa, or any other aggressive, violent groups.
And they were there for the right reasons. And I'm calling on people to call out the Huffington Post on this one particular article. I'm so sick and tired of people attacking the military and saying that we're racist or we're transphobic. We don't give a damn about that shit. We are brothers and sisters fighting to protect the United States and its people, all its people. So if the Huffington Post has any moral compass whatsoever, they will drop that article.
And they'll fire David Fagan for not only disrespecting the military and those brave soldiers, but more importantly for being a dishonest, lazy political hack. Or maybe, now that I say it out loud, I'm starting to think that's why the Huffington Post hired him in the first place. Direwolf and Foxy, out. Oh, that was a train wreck. We should have wrote a script.